What's been funny about seeing how Pokemon Go has kind of come out, exploded, captured everybody's attention, is that these are not new concepts. These things have been worked on for a long time. I found a video of some of the work we did at Simple Geo back in 2009, and it had, I mean, you panned the camera around and it had the grid, it had things placed in different depths, and the idea behind some of the stuff that we were working on was to build games that you would play in the real world using real world locations, real world maps, things like that, but have this virtual layer put on top of it. And that's what Pokemon Go is, and that was stuff that we were working on 7 years ago. Fast forward to now, and I think there have been major developments over the course of the last few years that are critical to how this actually worked this time, which is, one, the phones are an incredible amount more powerful. The phones that we were working on were the iPhone 3G, which had very little power. Well, now these iPhone 6s and so on and so forth have an immense amount of computing power. They can do a lot of that really tough graphic work to be able to make like a Pokemon feel like it's actually there, standing right in front of you. It's a challenging task. The mapping technology has gotten better, the GPS technology is getting better, but beyond all of that, there's two more things that I think were critical, which is one, that people had access to these cell phones and these smartphones, and everybody has these smartphones now, as opposed to back then, which you may still find a significant number of people with flip phones or dumb phones or whatever you might call them. And the second is people's comfort in sharing location. You know, back then it was the tinfoil hat, like you didn't want to approve location preferences, and now everyone just shares the location because everybody has an app that needs location in some way. So all of that means this perfect storm it was brewing, and I think just waiting for some IP to catch somebody's attention. And it didn't necessarily need to be Pokemon. It could have been something else that would have maybe potentially gone viral. But Pokemon hits us at a time when there is sort of this nostalgia period for a lot of older brands. I mean, you're seeing the Muppets come back, for that matter, and bands back from the 90s. And I think you're finding, say, our generation desire these nostalgic things. And so Pokemon as a brand, I mean, I played Pokemon, like the Game Boy version when I was a kid. And so now I have a smartphone. I'm able to go out into the world and do these things. It's sort of this absolutely perfect brand to attach with this technology and just clean up. I mean, all of the attention that I've seen in the last week of technology has been about this. I think that we're just at the beginning of an enabling moment for this technology. I would be focusing on the basic infrastructure that's going to get this stuff working. A company like Nintendo wasn't going to go and build all of that incredibly difficult infrastructure to be able to power a experience like Pokemon Go. So they would partner with a company like Niantic to get it done. Not everybody's going to go to Niantic either, and Niantic is not going to be sitting there waiting for every opportunity to build another Pokemon Go. And so, the idea that there will be companies out there that will build aspects of this technology, maybe individual core components, those are the companies that I'd be really interested in focusing on right now. Some of the technology is going to be around neural networks. This idea that computers can start to act a bit more like our brain and make connections that they weren't otherwise able to. That's where you get into machine, some like computer-aided vision and things like that. There'll be companies that deal with AI that'll be interesting around this space, because all of these are connecting technologies. But that's the kind of stuff that I would be focusing on. And then the brands will come, the other experiences will come. But as long as that core is set, then there's a lot of opportunity there.